think I'm live, but it's doing something weird. Oh, here we go. There's my chat. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday afternoon. This is a really fun time because I was supposed to be doing two totally different things tonight, if anyone cares. I was going to be going live, but if you watched my live video last night, you'll know that I wasn't going to be going live like normal, but here I am live anyway. And I was also supposed to be having a nice dinner with a friend, but that is canceled until tomorrow. So I get to have a great conversation with my new friend, Todd Morgan, who is now joining me on an occasion from time to time because this is episode 1 of the Morgan and Moffett report. So let me say, everybody to say hello to Todd Morgan, and Todd Morgan say hello back.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Okay, so we met. How? I mean, how did you find me? What's the story there, Todd? You tell everybody if you don't
How I
mind.
found you. Well, I don't know if I found you or you were delivered to me, but I live down here in Daytona Beach, Florida. I remodel homes for a living down here, and was doing a job just a few days ago. And it's interesting how the day started out because I told myself in the morning, I want to go buy some silver coins because I haven't bought in a while, and my last name is Morgan, so I like buying the little Morgan silver dollars. And I was just telling myself, it's just such a pain in the rear end. If you want to go buy coins, I mean, you go to your local pawn shop, or you go to, go out to the local flea market, you buy out there, and no matter what this price is, let's say if it's $28 spot today or whatever, they
Mm-hmm.
always say, well, they're 28, but today we're still charging 35 or something. So you're always paying more. And then when you go to sell it, it's the same, nightmare again. You got to drive back to the pawn shop or your coin shop or the flea market, and they're never paying you really what it's worth that day. But the whole process of it is just cumbersome, and it's just, I mean, if you're doing this as an investment, but it makes it tough when you're not able to buy at the price you should buy at. You're not able to sell, at the same way. So I said, it's too bad they can't come up with a better method of this. And so you go online and I look, and you've got to buy from these companies, but they've got minimum orders and all that kind of nonsense. But so I just said that to myself that morning, and some other things going on. It was just, like I said, I remodel homes for a living, and the cost of me doing business, Aaron, now has gotten so bad. Just materials alone are eating all of our profits out.
Right.
And I said,
I've
I was
heard that's
really
gone
just
up.
crying out. Yeah, and I was just crying out to the Lord, saying, something has got to change here because I cannot continue to do this. I've got to find another way to make income because I know, let's tell you this real quickly, I buy my materials to stay at Home Depot. Now in Florida, they have the mask signs up, and their big signs are out front. You're not allowed in here without a mask, but of course
Right.
we don't wear them, and I refuse to put one on. But I know, I would probably give it a few more weeks or a month, and that's going to change.
Yep.
So if I'm taking a stance and I can't put a mask on, I won't put a mask on. I'm not gonna be able to buy material. So I could literally be put out of business. And I could say to myself, Aaron, I'll put a mask on just so I can get it, but go ahead and do that. What happens next is going to be you're not coming in without the vaccination,
Mm-hmm.
the certificate of it. So
Yep.
it's just a matter of time before that thing comes in. So going back to my story, I said something's got to happen. I've got to find something here. So I turned on Zen Garcia because I've been following his series with Rob Skiba, and I was just getting ready to click on the Genesis series, and I saw the one tab next to it, and I went, "What is this about today? Let me check it out. Who's Aaron Moffett? Who's this person?" So I click on it, and I'm listening. It's a good episode. And then towards the end, you made a mention about a company that you work with that offers healthcare. Now, me being independent, I said, "Well, huh, that's interesting. What is she doing that offers healthcare if you're independent?" So immediately I got off the show, and as soon as I got back to my house, I pulled you up and looked it up in the company, and I went, "Oh my, that wasn't a direction from God. It just blew me away." So anyway, that's how I found you, and then I called you, and we've taken it since there. So yeah,
Which is why we titled this No Masks Required, because as you and I have been talking, this job
yes,
will never require we wear a mask. This job will
right,
never require that we get a vaccine. This job cannot be locked down. This job cannot lay us off. And the only way they'll fire us is if we lie, cheat, or steal. So, really,
right,
if it's got health care, it's got gold and silver, you can earn an income. It's a
right.
no-brainer to me, but it's hard to explain that to other people. And so it was a blessing for me to hear from you it clicked for you. In fact,
right,
you did some research on this company before you joined up, and you said to
right.
me you couldn't really find any reason not to.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the things I do, Aaron, is when I look at a company, whatever it's for, the first thing I want to do is look at what's the negative press on it. So I went there to see what's the negative stuff because it's going to be out there. And
Sure.
I really couldn't find anything that was tangible negative about the company. Everything was pretty good. And I know some companies will launch their own, counteroffensive negative stuff, controlled opposition,
Right.
so to speak. A lot of companies do that, but this one didn't, and there really wasn't anything that I could find negative, and I really couldn't look. I couldn't find a downside with it because everything is really up with it. If you're well, we'll get into the mechanics of how it works late, I guess, when you're ready. But like I said, I just couldn't find any downside with it. So it was very exciting. And so I reached out and said, I got to get into this thing and get into it now. Like I just said, I don't think we're months out. I think we're weeks out. And I don't want to pull up at my local supply shop and go, oh no, I'm out of business today. So I got
Mhm.
to get something in play and in play now. And the other thing too that you and I talked about was we're truthers, and you have a nice channel here, and I have a little channel now. But I have a really great little online family, and especially over in our Discord. And truthers, we take quite a beating. I mean, for one, is how it is. We're isolated from everyone. We find that the more we get into the truth, there's less and less people we can associate with, and so it becomes one very lonely. But as far as earning an income or a way to do it, it becomes tough, especially if you're
Mhm.
just out, if you're a business owner and you're just out networking. You're not going to the 5 o'clock wine and cheeses. It's all the things
Yeah.
you truly shouldn't participate in. So it's getting tough. And if you're a truther, you're doing your channel. Basically, you're going broke because you're spending what time that you would have spent applying it towards your business. You're searching for the truth and that, and it really takes you over. So in a way, it's a good thing that you're learning all that, but you're going, like I said, you're going broke doing it. So when I looked at this, I said, this is an opportunity for people that are in our community that do what we do, that we can continue doing what we're doing. And it's a way to provide income from us that, like you said, it's just shielded from all the restrictions that are coming down. So I got very, very excited about it. Yeah.
I think that you should probably copyright or whatever the trademark the income for truthers because I think that's so good because
uh,
I can testify to that this has been expensive. You know, you could try to sound like Mark Dice and go, I'm just a guy on my laptop in my kitchen. But even Mark
nice.
Dice, yeah, he's spending a lot of more money to do things. You have to learn editing. You have to pay for editing software. I had to pay for music for all the productions I was making because you can't because I was getting all these copyrights for using anybody else's music, and it never occurred to me that I couldn't just publicly use people's music. So I'm paying for music rights every month. I'm paying for the software to do editing, and that's I can
Right.
pay it yearly and whatever. I'm paying for trying to get website domains, and I had a computer get a virus and crash during that. I had a car breakdown. I had to
Uh,
get different microphones. All these things that go on, and so it's not like we're out here making a bunch of money. Is some of these YouTubers, and you and I talked about this. We know that some of them are, but we wonder about some of that. But people like us who just really do a lot of work and a lot of research and we care about getting that information to people because it changed our life so much and we're Christ followers and we want to reach people and
right.
certainly there's not a lot of money in that, so that's why I agreeing with you and repeating what you said that this is an income for truthers because we're also understanding of the dollar. And I thought, I thought that would go over better with more truthers, but maybe I was just in the wrong group because I was so excited by the way that Zen, when I said, "Oh, I don't want to plug my business, that's not right," and he goes, "You should." I'm like, "Really? Well, okay, I will." These are people who understand the dollar. I should have probably said
Right.
something sooner, but that's okay in Jesus' time, all in the Lord's time. But it it this way I now he wants me to push the idea. Or he says let's promote it on a channel as big as his. It's not because I just want a whole bunch of people I can't help. It's like I told you.
Right.
You asked me today how many people contacted me for, and you signed up, and that's great. That's good numbers for me. So even if it's just a few people, I was telling you, and I'll say it again real quick, that some of these people in these companies will use these funnel methods and websites, and yeah, they can get 3,000 people to sign up in a month, and they can rank up to some high rank and start pulling in $10,000 a week. But how many of those people you think are going to stay on?
Right. Right. And real quickly, I look at the income from what you do in this company, and if you're just diligent, and if you're out there and you're running a truther channel, if I put up a 20-minute video, I don't have any music or anything. It's just me putting it 20 minutes up. I have to research everything I'm going to talk about, and if you're a truther, you better not be telling anything that's not truthful. So, because the enemy is all over your rear end, let me tell you. And Father allows it to happen. It's like you told me. You say one lie, and I give him full reign to take you out. So you got to really be truthful of what you're saying. So just like in a 20-minute video, I'll spend 3-4 hours research, and document what I'm going to present. I'll rehearse what I'm going to do, maybe usually one time, try to get everything right. Make the presentation, they're 20 minutes, then upload to YouTube, store it, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're 3, 4, 5 hours just to put up a 20-minute little video that you're not getting paid for. And if you're going to spend 3, 4 hours a day, wouldn't it be nice to be able to still do that and make money while you're doing it? And that's why I said, you know what? Because you put your video up, you put it in your link or so forth in there, and you mention it, and organically, it's just going to happen, I think. So anyway, as soon as I saw this, I said, this is going to save a lot of people. And I'll just tell you real personally that everyone on my channel knows this, that I've been married for 32 years. My wife walked out a little over 5 weeks ago. And it really just came down to money. We lost our home last year. And then this year we were renting a home, and some circumstances happened there, and we had to vacate it unexpectedly. And my wife, who I love and adore, just snapped and walked out. And I know this from talking to other guys out there that run channels that have had the same exact thing happen to them. They put so much and so passion into what we do that it's not that we neglect making money. It's just that it happens, and your wife or your spouse loses respect for you. You lose respect for yourself. It's a downhill, especially if you've had children, then we got a real problem now. So I'm going to really take a bold stance and say that I honestly believe, Aaron, that this company may be just literally what will save some people out there who do what we do. And that's why I want to get it out there as quick as I can and share it with everyone, because the little clock is ticking on all this stuff.
I'm glad that you say that, because I've
Yeah.
told people, and they've said to me, "Oh, I doubt that." And I said, "I think this company saved my life." And they say, "Oh, I doubt that." I say, "Well, yeah, okay. So I was doing some of the things already. I was living below my means already. I was already getting rid of debt, but I was living in a 500 square foot apartment with two tiny bedrooms, no living room, just a kitchen and a bathroom with my kids. And that was okay for a little while, but just living below my means and then getting rid of debt, I wasn't ever going to get out of that tiny apartment, Todd. I was going to be there
Right.
forever if I didn't do something different. And so I started like trying to learn how to work from home. And you have experience in home-based business. I've now got 4 years, but I'm so
Right.
glad, because this is who we this is not we don't just want to find people with experience in home-based business. We want to show you that you don't need to have experience in home-based business to
Right.
make this work. And for me, like, I got a $500 check this week, and that's
Oh,
because I know I'm excited, right? I get $250 checks most weeks, but that helps a ton. But to this week is a $500, and I'm excited for I'm eligible for $1,000 checks every week. It's just that I'm doing all the work right now, and so what's exciting is not all of it. Doc Michael's going to kick my butt for saying that, because he's doing some work too. I'm not doing all of it, but I'm doing a lot of it, and you'll find that when you're doing a lot of the work, it's kind of like being self-employed, but you're not, getting that residual income yet. What's exciting is when you start to see that residual income come in.
right.
And so what I'll do is I'll share the screen. I've gone over this before with people, but
Okay.
um, I'm going to show it again, because I know I'll let you talk anytime you want, so please
Okay.
interrupt. But what I think people don't realize is they're working harder for money to cover the basics, and they're not understanding why that is. I don't think
Yeah.
people. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And let me jump in. I got
Yeah,
to jump in right on
please
this.
do.
And let me tell you this. So I'm listening to you talk, and literally before I heard your come on Zen show, I am building this deck on a very upscale home, and I literally hit my knees in tears because I said, I cried out to Dad, I'm going broke, and the harder I'm working, the less money I'm making. There's no way if I have any chance of restoring my life right now, I can't think of a way that I can get back on my feet. There's nothing out there. And this little job I was doing was I guess for example, it's a $2,500 job, and I underbid it a little bit, and I ended up with more time in it. We got some rain days in it. Material costs went up in it. And so that night I figured out where I am in my hours, what is my expense in this, gas, fuel. And boy, I tell you what, when you put your fuel and your food cost in to,
Hmm.
your expenses, if you're an independent business guy, I realized I started out at 38 bucks an hour on this job. I'm now down to 21, and I'm not done yet. So when I probably finish this job out here, it's a skilled guy with a truck full of tools and kind of unbelievable work. I'll probably be down about 18 bucks an hour. Now
Hmm.
I was saying that to myself as I pulled in the Chick-fil-A yesterday and realized the kid in the drive-through was making probably 18 bucks an hour.
Right.
you know, so here I
He
am
probably
with
is.
liability and insurance, and this kid at Chick-fil-A is probably going to go home with more money in his pocket than I am. We got a problem. Yes, so there. Sorry.
That's well,
Yes.
they're paying contact tracers 1950. So, if you want to get a
Ugh.
job in contact tracing, you can make more than that. And so there are people that just don't understand inflation, and I was one of those 3.5 years ago. Didn't get it, didn't know why, didn't know anything about Bretton Woods, didn't know anything about the Federal Reserve, but yet we're in a group of people that already all know that. So they should understand inflation and know that they're they talk what people have talked about is that what I've heard people talk about is, well, we'll get out of this debt in 5 years doing the same job like nothing changes. Well, what are you going to do in 5 years to get out of that debt? You can listen to people like Dave Ramsey, and he's good. He gives good information on how to get out of debt. But you know what's really sad is those guys push paper all the time. They tell you stay away from gold and silver. It's not just Dave Ramsey. There's other guys I listen to on a Christian radio station. They'll tell you to buy into paper, ETFs, and things like that. They call that diversifying, and that's terrible to me. I'm like, fine, maybe if you want to do some paper, but we're on the brink of a Great Depression. If you ask me, it's looking pretty close to what we were seeing right before. I mean, they bolstered up the dollar, they bolstered up the stock market for 2 years, and then that they've hit that rock bottom that they couldn't hide anymore. And when that Great Depression hit, and so people think
Right.
stocks and bonds are still a good idea, ETFs, futures, that kind of stuff. Now I know people in the chat listening right now, the people that listen to my channel normally are going to be like, yeah, yeah, we know all that. But you're going to introduce this to a lot of people that may not understand that paper is paper is paper, and this is the only tangible money.
It is. Yeah, and something else too. You listen to all these financial advisors, and that's great. And they talk about, oh, well, you have a credit problem. You don't have a credit problem. You have an income problem. And it doesn't matter what you're really investing your stuff in. If you're not making enough income, I don't care what you've got stored away. If your upkeep is greater than your income, it becomes your downfall. That's how the formula goes. So we have an income problem,
Mhm.
and that's why when I looked at this, I said this and time and everything here. I don't know. I'll let you keep going with it.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
so
I get what you're saying.
Well, basically, I'm just following along a PowerPoint that we are given by the company itself, which is perfectly set up, I think, to explain everything. Obviously, these higher costs and added financial pressures on families are causing fear, uncertainty, and doubt on a large scale. Can you imagine with the businesses closing down? Of course, it's even worse. And this is May of 2017. I'd hate to think what it'd be today. 44% of Americans could not cover a $400 emergency expense and would rely on credit cards, selling something, or borrowing money if such an event arose. And I can tell you, before I was with this company, I never had a savings account with more than $100 in it. And so imagine what this number
Hmm.
is now. Now, if you take the $1,000, I think it's something like 80% of people didn't have $1,000 in savings for an emergency.
Well,
So, what's happening to our money? Of course, this is where I bring up what I didn't know 3.5 years ago, and the company taught me no clue. I tell you, some of you guys, "Oh, I've known this since 1955." I haven't known this stuff. I'm like, I don't know what inflation's about. But it was the initiation of the Federal Reserve, and if you haven't read The Creature from Jekyll Island, I highly recommend it. And you can also get it in a kids version for your kids, which I did. And the Federal Reserve was a bunch of bankers that started this way to start printing money. And look at what happened to the dollar right after the Federal Reserve came in. It just dropped significantly to half its value. And then in 1933, it was illegal to have gold, and they're trying to give us, they want us to believe in the dollar. They want us to think the dollar is worthy enough that you don't need your gold. And I know a lot of people actually turned. I heard someone say that a lot of people didn't, but I've heard enough stories of people who said, "Well, my granddad, he turned in his gold. My grandmother, she turned in her gold. They thought that's what you do. The
Well,
government tells you to turn in your gold, you turn it in." In 1944, Bretton Woods came together, and it was all the first world countries that decided to establish the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency because it was backed by gold. Now, I know that you already know this, but I'm just going to go through this for anybody who doesn't. That was crazy because the dollar has been doing nothing but dropping in its value ever since the Federal Reserve was started. Yeah, there was this, it bolstered up after the Great Depression, and then, of course, they made it look good because, oh, you can't have your gold anymore. But then Bretton Woods
mhm.
comes in on the downslope and says, "Oh yeah, we'll all just trust the dollar." And then everybody started to notice that it just seems like, we want our gold back. That's what they said. We want you to deliver in gold. We've all been using your dollar, but we want our dollars delivered in gold. And we couldn't do that because we were printing too much money. And that's when Nixon closed the window and said, what did he say? Oh, I'm going to defend the dollar, and he said inflation wouldn't occur. Well, it wasn't 30 days, and some inflation was already occurring, and as you can see, it's been occurring ever since. And so as the dollar drops, if you can imagine a different chart, gold and silver have continuously gone up. Now, silver has been held down, but anyway, anything you want to interject there, go ahead, feel free.
Yeah, just real quickly, did I hear correctly that the creature from Jekyll Island, that was the author G. Edward Griffin? Is he involved?
He
Did I hear
is. He is a 7K Metals member, and he's 90 years old.
that? That's what I thought about
Yes.
that.
Yes, in fact, my good friend Tiffany, who is probably going to be on as a guest sometime, putting the pressure on you, Tiffany, if you're watching, that she should be coming on one of these days and giving her testimony. She and her husband have a picture with him, and they put it up at our last regional event. And I'm like, wow, I wish what I would have given to be at that event. I wanted to meet him so badly that I asked one of our leaders to please go tell G. Edward Griffin this for me. I can't remember. I said tell him that made a video based on his interview with Yuri Bezmenov about what the Russians and the Bolsheviks have always been doing to try to
Yes.
take over, and that it just changed my life. And I said, please tell him that interview changed my life. And of course, the creature from Jekyll Island, life changing. But what I appreciated was his interview with Yuri Bezmenov. So anyway, I made a
Yes.
whole video about it. Whew. Such an inspiring man. And yes, he is a 7K Metals associate. I don't know if he's working the business or selling it. I don't know anything about that, but the fact that he signed up at all. Robert Kiyosaki, I think, was almost on board at one point
Really?
too. So you'll get to know the owners because at the regional events it's just not that hard to get to know these guys. Like I think 170, maybe 200 people show up. It will get bigger. There'll be a time where there's 500 people showing up, but the
Yeah, and one thing going back on that, the
yeah.
1913 Banking Act, that was a 100-year charter, if I remember correctly, and so it came up for renewal 2013, and it was quietly, pushed on the rug and renewed again. I don't know when in Congress when they did it at night at 1 o'clock in the morning, but they, yeah, pushed another 100-year charter through again. So we're
Mm.
stuck with that monetary system. So, yep.
Oh, and by the way, in 1974, Reagan made it so you could own gold again. That's not on this
Oh,
little
I didn't know
map.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it is
well,
clearly legal to own gold. But I was going to say Zach Davis, one of our co-founders, was sitting with G. Edward Griffin. I want to say G. Edward Griffin and Robert Kiyosaki at the Red Pill event. And he said to Robert Kiyosaki that the numbers that we're pushing out on MS70 coins because it's our auto saver. And Robert Kiyosaki's like,
okay.
there's no way you're selling that many MS70s in a month. And this was probably a year ago. And he showed Robert
Really.
Kiyosaki how many MS70s. We are selling more MS70s than any country in the world, which is why NGC has partnered up with us to the extent that they have. So yeah, we are like the MS70 company. If you're not a collector, you won't know what I'm talking about yet, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Wow. So, and I know we're going through the slide presentation. I don't know if we put it out yet. What this company is 7K Metals. Is that the correct name? Did I say it?
That's it,
Didn't say
7K Metals. Yep.
I didn't say it backwards. It's a buyer's club for gold and silver. That's just basically, if I understand correctly, that's all this is. Just like an Amazon buyer's club. That's what this is. You can buy your gold and silver. And what I found real quickly is I don't think you can buy it at better prices anywhere with no minimums. And not only is it just easy to buy the gold, they buy it back, when you're ready to sell it. So I mean, it's there's a whole lot of more services in here, but the basis is that, man, you cannot, to me, I can't purchase and sell gold and silver easier than I can with what their platform is. Yeah.
Yeah, they're skipping the middleman. So normally it goes from the
Yeah.
U.S. Mint to the dealer to the broker to the wholesaler to the retailer. And with us, it goes from the U.S. Mint to the dealer, and that straight across price goes to us with no minimums and no maximums. You don't have to buy 500 coins to get that price. You get that
Oh, okay.
price at one coin or 500. You can buy 500. And so even still with the shortage, it's not like we're really, but even still with like the way they're kind of shutting down on getting gold and silver out there as much as we were before COVID, we still are
Hmm.
beating prices significantly. We were $7 cheaper on Silver Eagles the other day over APMEX. I mean, $7 an
Wow.
ounce.
It's a
Whoo,
lot.
that's a big premium difference. Yeah. So I will tell you again, inflation. We understand it. We got it. This is this is the case for sound money that we're trying to give you. We are trying. If we could show you guys why you should be interested in sound money, which is another way of gold and silver. They say it's a fancy way of saying gold and silver, but it's true. It's not even fancy, it's true. It's sound money. Do you know what Mike Maloney calls the dollar? Do you know what Mike Maloney calls anything that isn't gold and silver? That's
But
if it's currency, he only calls it currency. So Mike Maloney
okay.
is a really intelligent gold and silver guy, financial guy, and he's like, why do I? It's not money, it's currency. And so this is real money. It's sound money. Uh, really simply, in 1965, if you had 25 ounces of silver, that would equal $2,500. So 1 ounce of silver equaled a dollar. You could buy a brand new Ford Mustang with 2,500 ounces of silver or $2,500 bills. If you took in $2,500 bills, what could you buy today with 2,500
Yeah.
bucks?
I could buy the exhaust system for it.
Yeah. But if you had 2,500 ounces of silver, you could buy two brand new Ford Mustang. So that explains, again, the dollar is dropping. It's not that gold and silver are becoming more valuable, and we'll talk about that. This is not. They're not changing their value. It's the human effort. G. Edward Griffin said that in a movie called End of the Road. He himself said it's not that the gold and silver are changing in value. It's the human effort that makes gold and silver valuable. It's the dollar that's
Wow.
dropping. So again, I did a whole video on this where I compared a gun, a car, and a house. And so these guys must have saw my video and went off of it. I'm not really sure if
Well,
that's
that's
true,
cool.
but I made the video.
Flattering.
I made
Yeah.
the video before they did this, but they were comparing. So they compared the car, then you compare the house. What you have in gold today, if you would have put 10,000 in gold in 1965 versus if you would have put it in a house. Now that's great that your $10,000 house is now worth 85,000, but what's better is your $10,000 in gold today. Well, this was in 2019, August 7th. It would have been $421,000, so close to $500,000 if you would have put 10,000 back in 1965. Now, don't be telling yourself, well, I should have done it then and now it's not worth it. It's still a good time to buy, wouldn't you say? It's always a good time to buy gold and silver.
Yeah, if you go back to that slide too, that same house that's $85,000. If you owned it that long, you probably put more than $85,000 into it with new roofs and paint and repairs and all that. So, did you really make money on that piece of real estate? On all the taxes you paid on it and so
Yeah,
forth?
all the
You
stuff
didn't
you're
really
putting
make money
into
off it.
it.
No, you didn't
That's
make money.
true. That's a good
Yep.
point because really real estate's only making money for you if you're renting it out. I don't think
Yep.
you're going to really ever make money off of just owning a home.
Yeah, let me tell you something else that's happening too right now, Aaron. Is you've got all these folks out there buying rental properties, and it's all fine and dandy. But when you own rental property and you get the thing from the government that says you can't kick out your tenant because they can't pay because of COVID, you're in deep trouble. I know that because where I live in
Yes.
the B-side here, this is nothing but rental homes. And I know the people who own them, and they are hurting right now, big time. So, yeah, I think you're going to see housing go in the toilet again here
Mhm.
within the next 12 months. Absolutely. Yep. Because once again, they've run the prices up on again. And when that happens, you know what happens to gold? It's going up. So,
Yes.
yep.
And I have a friend that I love so much. I wish I could get her on board with this. She would even vaccinate her son, apparently, turns out.
Uh,
But I wish I
uh,
could get her on board. Well, she's more interested in, again, other things. She's buying a house to rent. She's now buying a house to rent. And I'm like, if you don't have a good renter, this is going to be the worst thing you've ever done. So I hope it's the
yes.
best thing she's ever done. I'm praying for her. It seems like the worst time to buy a house to rent, but I'm just hoping it goes well for her. So, mm,
Yeah, I don't know. I've done it before. Before I was in the home remodeling business, I was in a hotel business here. My family ran hotels here for 40, well, almost 50 years. And at one point in time, I probably ran every hotel in Daytona Beach at one time. And so I've been in the real estate rental thing my whole life. I got out of it. It's gotten, and the people who own hotels when COVID hit,
mm,
it's bad because they all went down. And one other little quick thing, Aaron, went over to buy a silver coin about a month ago, and I was talking to a little coin dealer. I was just buying little silver round, and I said, "What are you going to do when it becomes cashless here, shortly?" He goes, "Well, I'll be out of business." I said, "Well, when we don't have cash anymore, how are people going to buy their coins?" He said, "Well, they're going to use their credit card." He said, "But the problem with that is if I'm paying an average of 4.5% transaction fee, that's my marginal profit on buying and selling coins." I said, "Your marginal profit's only like 5%." He said, "Yeah." So when it comes to where he can only do that with electronic transfers, his profit is gone.
yep.
We got another problem here. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So if that happens, how are you going to buy gold and silver? This company is the solution for that. Yeah.
hmm
Just thought about that a few moments ago. Wow. Yeah.
And we're talk about the Sound Money wallet. We don't have the new PowerPoint that shows that, but I'll just show my Sound Money wallet with everybody
Okay.
because I don't care if people see what I've got in there. But this is something that professional financial professionals aren't telling you. It says, this actually says after seeing those stats, does your financial future seem more challenging? But why aren't your financial professionals telling you? Is because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know these things. Now, some of them it's because they don't make money if they tell you this. Some of them don't mean harm. They like Primerica people. Oh my gosh, they don't think it's worth gold and silver, but yet they'll tell people you should put 5% into gold and silver. But do you think they tell anybody who to go to get that or who's safe to buy from? And so
Right.
I've tried to tell these Primerica people, I said, tell them, send them to me. If you're going to tell them to buy 5%, give them somebody that they can trust. Give them somebody
Right.
that has a business in this. So I have a Primerica friend that I think will do that, but they want to diversify in paper. They love the word diversify, but it's paper, 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 and that's what these financial advisors will do too because they don't get paid if you don't buy into what they're advising you. And it's crazy because
Right.
somebody will say, "Well, I don't know about this gold and silver. I got to talk to my financial advisor." And as soon as I say that, I said, "Never mind. Go. Never mind. Don't even bother. Have a nice day."
Yeah. Exactly.
They
Yep.
don't. Yeah. Um. Okay. So I want to talk about the Sound Money wallet if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah. This was a big thing for me when I saw this. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about how they set this thing up. So go ahead with that. This is really
Let
cool.
me share my screen. Who knows what's up on my screen right now here? My YouTube. Everyone can. Yeah, it's YouTube. Okay, so this
Hmm.
is my Sound Money wallet right here, and it's got really no cash in it currently. So you can see the gold that I have is $1,379. The silver I
Nice.
have is, I know, it's not bad. So
Nice. Yeah.
look, it'll be more later, but it's got $1,608 in silver, and then the cash it comes and goes because I get paid. So you can see I've got a commission check here. I've got a commission check here. Um,
Okay.
we do member to member transfers. You can transfer other members, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, basically what this is a wallet that looks digital, but I'm going to tell you right now it is not. When you put
Okay.
cash into this system, it is just cash. Doesn't do anything but sit there as cash like a bank account. But as soon as you put that cash into silver like this, they will put that silver into a vault fractionally. Now I know the fractionals show up to 7 behind the decimal point, so I mean I don't know how tiny they're going. I don't know if they're putting BBs in there, but if I said cash out my silver right now, I'd probably get about 56 ounces. They'd probably send me 56 ounces because I'm at 56.98, and there's a buyback. Oh, so
Okay.
I've got $1,600 in silver. They have to put that in a vault. It is audited monthly, and it is secured, armed security. Same with the
Right.
gold, and it's based on the silver eagle and the gold eagle. So that means they had to have, this happened before COVID that they put this together. They
Oh,
had
is
to
that
have,
okay?
yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
They had to have enough gold and enough silver eagles to do something to where they said, if you put $50,000 in here, we will put $50,000 of that silver or gold into the vault. Now it's a general vault. It's not my private vault that says here's Aaron's silver eagles because it doesn't matter. They're all silver eagles or all gold eagles. You can
Right.
transfer this gold to silver, this silver to gold, this gold to cash, this silver to cash all in an instant, and you can use this cash in the same day because they give us a debit card, not chipped, a not chipped debit card.
That's
So,
unbelievable. That's unreal. And two, I know people might that are on my channel are going to see this. So when you buy gold and silver, you get two options. One, you can leave it there in the vault, or they'll mail it to you, so you hold it. And when I first looked at it, I said, "Well, I want to hold my gold. I want to keep it in my hands." And of course, I do. But I think I'm going to looking at it now. I'm going to leave a big portion of it in there just because of the ease of buying and selling and moving it. And if I know I want to keep some
right.
tangible on me, but I really, at first, I thought I'm going to keep it all. I want it in my hands, and then I thought, well, I mean, if you're buying, selling, trading it, it's not a bad rate to go. And anytime you want it, they have it physically there. They're going to send it to you. So, yeah. And unlike a safety deposit box, if the bank goes insolvent over there, they're going to lock your box on you because when you sign your little
Yes,
checking agreement with the
that's
bank,
right.
you agreed this is the what was the Dodd-Frank Banking Act. If you don't know about this,
Yep.
when you open a checking account at your bank, if that bank goes insolvent, you're on the hook for the bank's debts. Not
Mm-hmm.
only will they take not only they take all the money out of your account, they'll rob your safety deposit box, and if they're still insolvent, you'll be on the hook for whatever deficiencies they have when it's all said and done. Isn't that lovely?
Yes, and I'm
And
glad you
here with this
said that.
company,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and here with this company, it's private. That isn't going to happen here. Your money is
That's
safer
right.
here than it is over there with this silly FDIC. Oh, well, it's FDIC insured. You really think they got enough insurance to cover their rear ends when it all goes down? No. And another thing, I just got to say, I know I don't do this. I don't buy Bitcoin and all that nonsense. I guess it's okay if you do it, but you made the point. What happens when the internet goes down? How are you
Yes.
going to get your money? And you don't think they already got this planned out to happen, you're crazy, I'm not doing it. I'm going to have something tangible. But
Well,
sorry, I just had to say that.
and this company is close to me, so they're in Idaho. So honestly, if the internet went down, I just drive over there and get what I screenshot this all the time. So I'd be like, okay, this is what I had the last time, before the internet went down. Just give me my 59 silver eagles and my 7/10 of gold, and we'll be good. But again, most of my stacks are I have in a safe in a different house, not even in the house that I live in. I have some stuff
Okay.
here. I do have some stuff. I mean, I've got some tubes of things here. I got some
Huh.
fractionals and stuff because I do raffles, but I also love my 2 ounce rounds, so I keep some of those around just for fun. But most everything I keep in a different safe away from me. So I have plenty of physical. Oh, no, what happened? What did I do? Okay, everything's fine. It's like I thought the world was ending there for a second. Things were popping up in front of my screen. But anyway, yeah, so I keep a pretty good chunk here, but one of the funnest things about this is I can watch it change. I watched it go up
Right.
from when I first put silver in, and it was so very exciting to watch it go up like that. I mean, your silver is going up in value sitting in your safe, but this is fun because
Right.
you can watch it. And when I get paid, it goes directly into that cash. So that $500 check that's pending, it takes, I don't know, for whatever reason, 10 business days, goes into my cash account. I can either cash it out and use it to pay bills, or I can throw it into one of these accounts, or I can go and I can buy from the back office with it right here and just be like, okay, well, I'm spending it all on this physical stuff and have it shipped to me. So anyway,
Right.
it's a brilliant thing that they've done. I
Yeah, so I guess if I understand this correctly, Aaron, so if I just joined up with the company and I'm super excited. So, I bring in some people that joins the buyers club as well. And so I'll get, I get a commission. I guess we call it commission.
yep.
Does that sound right? Okay, I get a commission for bringing people in just to join. That's all. That's it. And so when I get paid on those commissions, it goes right into my Sound Money wallet. Is that correct?
Yes, that's where
Okay.
it directly goes into
Okay.
that.
So it goes into there, and if I want to have it sent right to my bank, I can either take that paycheck I just got, that $500 on my first week, hopefully, because I'm going to hustle. So I can send that over to my bank account. I can have them send me physical gold and silver, or I can keep it there, move it around, and all that, right?
Right. So what they'll
Okay.
do is you can get a debit card from the company that's not chipped,
Okay.
or you can move it to your bank account, or they can send you a paper check. So yeah, you
Okay.
can. It takes like 3 days to get to business days to get to your bank, but if you use it on the debit card that they give you, that's all in the same day. You can use it. So let's say I get paid $500. It's in my Sound Money wallet. I put it on the debit card. It's there that same day. Unless you do it at like 4 in the afternoon, then it might wait till the next morning. But if I
Okay.
every time I've done it, even the late afternoon, that money is on that card in the same day, and I can go use it. I can pull money out of an ATM with it. I can do whatever. I can pay bills with it. I can go to dinner with it. So that's how that works. I prefer to use the debit card rather than send it to my bank because I mean, why? I don't. I feel like I've told people leave your banks. This could be your bank. I mean,
Yeah, you know what? I got to share with you. I'm sorry because I got so much to say. I'm so excited about
yeah.
this. I
Hey,
I left, Bank of America and left SunTrust, a big bank here in Florida, because I got tired of their overdraft fees. And I heard you and what's her name talking about that whole nightmare. So
Amanda.
I go to a credit union thinking, Amanda, yes, I go to the credit union thinking, oh, they don't have this, in their policy. Well, I wasn't there 6 months, and they started that nonsense that stacking the overdraft, the insufficient funds fees.
Mm-hmm.
So you get creamed on that stuff. Yeah, it's about time to tell those institutions, I've had it, I'm out of here. And
Yep.
other thing too, people out here have their IRAs and their all these accounts. Try cashing your stuff in sometime. See how well that works for you. I mean,
Yes.
they're going to make you wait. At best, they're going to make you wait weeks on some of that, and it just, I don't want no part of it. I want out of it. So yeah.
There's a guy named Ray Patterson that he does these. He gets on these wealth strategy. So basically, what I'm doing is a presentation that anyone can do. And Ray Patterson does one with a couple other people. I think Tony Hubbard and Christine Campbell, I think is her name. And they do it twice a day, like every day of the week or 5 days of the week. But what Ray Patterson does is he is like friends with Robert Kiyosaki, and he's a really good financial guy. And on one of the videos on one of the Zooms I got in on, you can ask questions, it's Q&A. So I asked Ray, I go, what do you say to people who want to get on the gold and silver IRA? Should they do a gold and silver IRA or should they do the Sound Money wallet? And he says, if you're trying to avoid, he goes, all the IRA thing is you're just pushing back the fees. All you're doing is just, you're going to pay the fees, but you're just putting it off. So he says
Okay.
you should just cash out. We do have a gold and silver IRA. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but his opinion, and this is somebody who's a financial guru, and like I said, he sits around at the table with people like Robert Kiyosaki. He says you might as well just get the fees, and he has offered to let you talk to him if anybody wants to talk with somebody who knows more about IRAs. He has a phone number I'll give you if you email me at ladyliberty@countermail.com. You just got to mention that you saw him on the Zoom or that you're already a member if you aren't, or if you are already a member, you want to tell him that. Because he'll answer all your questions on these IRA things, and he's saying put it into the Sound Money wallet. He's saying this is such better technology than anything these IRAs are going to do. All you're doing is putting off those fees, and they're going to make you pay them anyway. Just cash out and put it into the Sound Money wallet. That's what he's saying.
Really? Wow. Wow. Hmm. Well, I think too, real quick, if you don't mind me interjecting this, I know because the other day when I was listening along, if this is your first time and you're trying to figure out, what all we're talking about here, uh, if you want to do this, it's so simple. I joined in yesterday? When did I join up yesterday? Day before yesterday?
Yeah,
It costs
yesterday.
with tax $206 to get a
Oh yeah,
membership.
day before
That's it.
yesterday.
Two
You're
hundred
right.
six dollars. Yeah, and I get a $27 coin coming back. So I got $180 to join this buyers club. And yet, not only do I get to get all these gold and silver at amazing best prices I can find, all this ease of it and stuff, I'll have income coming in because I've already spoke with two people this morning that are going to join because they buy gold and silver and they think it's the greatest thing they've ever seen. I got income coming in. I mean, it's just, and I just, it only cost me $206. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go on the one month where I get the coins each month. I want to do that. But how else? I don't mean to jump over on this thing, but how else could I go into business, a way to make money, and it's just $206? I mean, I'll spend that at Home Depot in 5 minutes. Walk out with a couple bags of screws and bolts and stuff. And it just, I don't know. I'm it's amazing. So
Right. And
sorry. I did throw
there's two ways to sign up, and I say if you can, if you can sign up at 4.99 and you get more silver, but you also get the books that are just like this presentation, how you talk with people. They're Wealth
right.
Strategies booklets that I don't really give to people because they're so nice, but I can flip through them and show people. And then you get like 10 business cards and you get more silver, and it pays for your technology credits for the whole year. That technology credit being the company provides training and technologies for you to learn all this stuff.
Right.
Let's say someone signed you up and they never helped you. Like let's say I just was like, "Hey, good luck." Well, you'd have everything on the website that you need to learn. You really couldn't blame the person that signed you up because they have everything. They have videos on how to talk to people. They have videos that explain what kind of gold and silver you should be buying depending on what your goals are. They train you on that, and it's not boring. They're only like 8 to 10 minute long videos. They're not hour long
Okay.
videos where you have to go, oh, I gotta sit here and listen to an hour of what gold and silver, blah blah blah. No, they're like 8 to 10 minutes long. And
Really.
I'll tell you guys one thing I just loved about Todd when I first talked to him. He wasn't even signed up yet, and he says, "Oh, I've already made a list of 70 people I want to talk to." And I'm like, "Oh, bless your heart," because
You got a party in.
that is one of the
Yeah.
things we ask people to do. And I told you, I said, everybody, we say, make a list of 100 people. And what did they say? I don't know 100 people. And you said, yeah, you do.
Grab your phone. I mean, yeah, start doing it. And I wanted to do the 4.99 because I wanted the cards. And I got turned. I got buy some business cards and all that kind of stuff. But I looked at my budgets, what I had. I can do it. I want to do it right then. I said, well, you can wait till next Wednesday when I finish the next job. Like, no, I got to get in now. I just couldn't
I think
couldn't
that's
wait another moment.
perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect
I
for
do
me.
it now. And then when I as I move, if I help people through this and you duplicate, look, just do it. If that's all you can afford, it's like I had, that's all I had. Just do it. Get in because you can be making. I mean, it's not hard. In a week, you can be making $500 a week starting. I
Yep.
mean, we got to get hustling because I am, Aaron, I'm petrified what's coming down the road, and I need to not just supplement my income. I need to exchange it for this, and I want to do it as quick as I can. So, yeah,
Well, we have a question, and
yeah.
I'm going to let you answer it. Is this network marketing, Todd?
Everything's network marketing. I mean, I don't know what you call network marketing. I call it, it's like a buyer's club. That's all. That's the way I look at it. Is it multi-level? Well, yeah, I guess I don't know, but to me, it's just you're just selling a membership to people, just like you would to Sam's or BJ's, Costco, or Amazon. And yeah, I guess I'd call it whatever you want. So I don't know.
Well,
What
so
do you what do you call it?
it is considered multi-level marketing and network marketing. And if you recall, the first network marketing job was the Fuller Brush. And if you guys remember that, those were guys that they went door to door, business to business, all over the place since the 1950s. They didn't do it on the internet. They didn't do it with a website. You just went and you said, "Here's what we have," and they'd pull out their briefcase of stuff and they'd say, "You want to get
Right,
in on this?" And then they said, "And we'll refill it every month. Whatever you like, we'll refill it every month." That idea has been working since the Fuller Brush company from 1950. So it's the same idea. You tell people about it, and get paid. So, like you said, it's like Costco. You get wholesale prices. And by the way, nobody has to sell the business, but why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you let them
right,
buy your gold and silver for you? But you could just buy
right,
gold and silver and do nothing else. That'd be fine.
right. Exactly.
We love buyers that
Yep,
just buy.
yep,
But
yep.
it's like if you go to Costco and you sign up for a year and you get wholesale prices, but Costco's never going to pay you when you tell your friends all the great wholesale
Right.
stuff you get at Costco and they sign up too.
Yeah.
But
And
can you
Aaron,
imagine if you did?
yeah, I'm sure people are going to ask that question. I remember going back 25 years ago when the Amlays and all that had their big days and stuff, and a lot of us did it, and pretty much everyone's been involved in one of them here or there. This isn't the same thing as it was. This isn't the same, I guess, model or whatever that we used to do it. And let me get the person asking the question. If you were to join one of these network marketing companies that sell protein shakes or makeup or whatever it is, and you end up buying a garage full of, you made this comment, I think it was you, Aaron, and you end up buying a garage full of it. If you got a garage full of gold and silver, you're going to be upset.
Yeah, right. You could be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
signed up with this company, and all I've got is a garage
yeah,
full or a closet full of gold
gold
and
and
silver. What
silver.
am I gonna do with this?" Yeah, it's not like
Yeah, yeah, you go sign somebody
milkshakes.
up for some protein, and the guy says, "Well, if I can't sell it, are you going to buy my protein shakes back?"
Good
Well,
point.
and the guy says to me, "You want to buy my gold and silver back?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll buy it back right
That's
now."
right. In fact, our company not only buys gold and silver, they'll buy it
Yeah,
whether you bought it from them or not, just like a coin shop would. So, like the other day, this is kind of, I tell this story because it doesn't matter who you sell it back to.
right.
I took a bunch of my really junky rounds I got from this guy that for $17 an ounce, and they were junky. They'd been through a fire or something, and I even tried to clean them, and they were still hideous. But they're silver, right? So I went in to trade some in, and I ended up. Oh, I hope I have it here. I'll show you guys. So silver was $27 an ounce that day, and I bought those rounds for 17 that day from this guy. And I
Huh.
told him, I said, if you went to the coin shop, you'd get better. But he's like, no, no, no. So that day, this is. Oh, I got to make it bigger. Let me stop sharing for a second so everybody can see this.
Oh, yeah. While you talk about that, Aaron, I'll tell you one thing real quick here, too. When I went to the local pawn shop about 2 months ago to look at buying some, oh, I know what it was. I had some scrap gold. I found on one of the job sites,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was a necklace that was broken. And so I took it in and I said, what's it worth and so forth. And they rip you to no end. Well, it's penny weight, blah, blah, blah. And you got to calculate. So they really take you for a ride. And they do their scratch test. Well, it's not 18 karat, it's 12, so you're going to get your rear end cream
Mhm.
if you do that. And I asked the guy, I said, if you had any choice of what's the best kind of gold you had, he said, the best thing you can hold is coinage. He goes, even rounds are great and all
Yep.
that, but coinage,
Coins.
it needs to be coinage. That is you take that into any place, it's instant money, boom. So I learned a lesson there, get coinage. Yeah,
That's true. That's true. But again, there's different kind of buyers. So rounds are good. So
right.
and our company would instantly take back rounds and they would never screw you over. But so I took my rounds into the local coin shop and they had one of these. Now this was created by Miles Standish, who is the vice president of NGC, and he only made these for 7K metals. Now I hadn't seen it in person, so the pictures just
Oh,
did it no justice, so I never bought one, right? But I saw it and I was like, "Whoa, how much are you selling that for?" Because first I was just checking to make sure the rounds were silver. And
right,
I go, how much you selling that for? He goes, 350. And he goes, are you a 7K metals member? We're a smaller town, and we've got a lot of 7K
right.
people. I'm like, yeah, I am. He goes, well, these people they bring this stuff back and they just sell it for nothing. And I go, what are you selling for 350? He goes, but for you, I'll sell it for 300. So I said, okay. So I traded in 12 silver pieces for this. So you know what? You know what it ended up costing me in dollars because I did it the way I did it?
No, that's
204. 204
really,
because
wow.
I took the rounds that I bought at $17 an ounce. I traded them in at $26 an ounce so that when I bought this at $300, it really only cost me 200. That's called purchasing power.
Nice,
That's what
nice.
purchasing power
Yes.
is. And
Nice.
I went
Way
in
to
with
go.
I went in with some more rounds and bought some silver bullets. So
Well, yeah, I saw that today. Those are awesome.
so we had another
Yeah,
question. Debbie says, "After I buy coins, how do I sell them?" Do you want to We were kind of just saying that, but why don't you answer
yeah,
that?
yeah. And real quick, this is something interesting. Before I answer that question, on my finger here is my wedding band. It's a Morgan silver dollar. I
That's
love coins, and you
perfect.
can see the inside of it. It's
Yeah,
coin rings. So I make sure
I love the coin
I'm covered.
rings.
But so the question was, what happens when you want to sell your gold and silver back? Is that what it was?
Yep.
What she asked. Yep. You just put it in a package. Well, what's mechanic? You send it back to the company, they buy it, but what do you tell them ahead of time that you're sending in? How does
You
that work?
probably
She was asking
should,
you that.
but then you should probably insure it too. So you would
Okay.
package it up and ship it, or if you're close enough to Idaho Falls, you could drive there, and they'll assay it.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
you
Yeah, so
it,
you just put an envelope and mail it back, and they'll inspect
mhm.
it and make sure it is what it is, and then they'll buy it from you. And either put it in your sound money wallet or however you want to get
Get a
paid. And it's
check,
pretty
yeah.
quick too. Yeah. Yep.
It's quick in that like if you need it today, it's not that quick. But if
Okay.
you just like, okay, I want to sell some stuff because I'm interested in buying a ship or something, a boat. I
Yep.
don't know, whatever you're interested in buying. A ship, I shouldn't have said ship, but I'm interested in buying a boat or something, and so you want to cash in. You're going to get the best price from your own company that you belong to. As a member, you're going to get a better price most likely than
Right.
a local coin shop. Or you could go to a local. I went to the local coin shop the other day, like I said, but I traded in for nicer stuff. I was trading. I got some cash, but I was like, give me some nicer stuff for this these crap rounds. I don't want these rounds anymore. I don't even want to raffle them. They're gross. Don't go to a pawn shop. Please don't go to a
Right.
pawn shop. But I will share one more time my Sound Money wallet just to show you guys that this is a way that you can sell it back really, really fast. Because, yeah, I'm not holding physical in my hands, but it's physically being held in a vault where an auditor makes sure it's there. And they have a guy with a gun that walks around with a rifle and he protects it.
Okay.
So you know the silver and gold is in there. And so if I wanted to cash it in, if I was like, geez, I really want to get this boat. Why do I keep saying ship? Boat. I want to get this boat and it's $1,500, or I want to buy a bus and it's $3,000 because that's actually what I want to do. I want to gut a bus out and make it my home. I can turn that into cash in an instant by transferring, and I get, I put in this code. Let me just do it real quick. It,
Okay.
I'll just show you guys how fast this transfer is. I'm not actually going to transfer anything because I don't want to, but and this code changes every minute or something, so no one can ever get into my account by
Right.
oh
I've
where
heard that.
can't you can't get into my account by seeing that code, so don't worry, it changes constantly. Plus I have a password. So here's where I go. I go to my where however I want to go. Okay, I want to transfer silver to cash, and then I put in the amount, and then I
Wow. That's
transfer it,
cool.
and it's free. There's no processing fee, nothing. Now it tells you that you're going to get it at the buyback price. Okay, you're not going to
Okay.
get at $28. You're getting it at the buyback price of 26, whatever it said. So be
Right.
prepared for that. But if you bought it at
Right.
22, you're getting it back at
Mm-hmm.
26. If you bought it at 14, which a lot of us did, oh, I bought a lot of
Yeah.
silver at $14 an ounce.
Yeah.
This is double what I paid, so I'm winning.
Yeah.
So
And
that
let me just say this here, real quickly here. If you're holding your money here, let's say it's in your gold, and silver makes a run, you could just dump all your gold and go buy silver and enjoy that run, or vice versa. And if you think, and I've been following this for a long time, this is just my personal opinion. I think you'll see in the next year, I think you'll see silver go to uppers to, oh my gosh, it may go all the way to 100.
it
And
could,
gold, who
yeah.
knows what it's going to go to. I just, that's my own, this is my personal thing. But I think you will see it, especially when a knucklehead gets in the office and runs this
Mhm.
place into the dirt. If it ain't $100, I'll be surprised. So, not only if you're doing this, if you got my channel, look, if you do this thing and you're making 500, 1,000, $3,000 a week, whatever it is, and you take out just what you need to live off of, leave every penny you can in here, and let's say it's $5,000 when you start in the year, that's going to be 10, 15, 20,000. Where can else can you do that?
All right.
Just, wow. I don't know.
I wanted to remind people that we want to do this to help people and become a family. Like this is when somebody asks, is
Yeah.
it network marketing? Yeah, we're networking to with Christ followers and
Right.
truthers and people who want
Yep.
to help each other, and we call it protecting the remnant in my Discord channel. We call it, a place that we can come together, whether it's about gold and silver or any other thing. We can come together and we can be safe. We can safely talk to each other and help each other. And
Right.
this business is that we're not going to be one of these people. And bless them, people can run this business however they want to, because when you buy in, it's your business. You can do it however you
Right.
want. But I don't like the idea of these big funnel things where people get this funnel and then they get a website and they bring in 3,000 people in a month and they're making $10,000 a week. That sounds really nice, but that's not helping people. I don't see how
Mm.
those people are going to stay on board with the business. I doubt many of them are really going to want to learn on their own. People do want a little hand holding in the beginning. And how do you follow up with 3,000 people by yourself? You just can't. You
Right.
just can't do that. So We're trying to build we're building a network of people we care about and we want to help because
Yeah.
we see what's happening, and this is going to be a way that not that we come together, not just like if we need to come together physically for protection, we can do that too, but this is a way to come together financially.
Yeah. And I'll just tell you something, someone new just looking at this. When I looked at it, I said, how many members are in the company? I think I've heard a number like 10,000
At
associates
least.
now. That's at least, yeah,
Oh, associates.
that's
I don't know about
still,
because
yeah.
associates means that they've signed up two people. So
Oh, well,
members, I think there's probably more than maybe I'm going to be totally guessing, but there's probably 20,000 members, but associates probably not even 10,000. So
wow. So
you'd be less
that's
than.
below empathy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at this company and said, here's a company that's probably going to become a household name, and I think it will
Mhm. Mhm.
be the benchmark. I'm sure the other gold and silver companies are crapping in their pants right now, going, "Oh man, we screwed up. Look at
So,
the way this thing's being done."
right.
And I think it'll be a household name. It'll be the way gold and silver will be sold, and I think it's just going to explode. I'm just going to say this again, guys. The business world is collapsing out there. I know restaurant owners. I have one that lives one door down from me, owns an enormously successful restaurant on the ocean. He's ready to lose it, and that's horrible because it's a $4 million restaurant.
Oh,
And this COVID
wow.
thing is taking him out. I have another guy who I used to own one of the restaurants in my hotel. He just closed his doors last weekend. 27 years in business, and he closed because of this nonsense. And they haven't even started with the real lockdowns and all that stuff. There's a good chance if you are going to stay employed, you're going to have to wear a mask or you're going to have to be vaccinated. And let me tell you who's going to force that. It's going to be the insurance companies because the employer is going to say, look,
Yep.
we can't get insurance on you
Yes.
at liability because you're not vaccinated. So
Right.
there is not going to be one job in this country that you're not going to be forced to be vaccinated. So either you get off your rear end right now and say, I better find another source of income, or you're either going to have to take the shot or you're going to be out of work. So I don't mean to be pushy about it, but you're going to have to do something. I'm scared. I'll just be honest. I mean, I don't want to be out of work here in a month. So I just look at it as something that God brought to me, and I'm really excited about it. And it's a chance for me as someone who remodels homes. I'm going nowhere but down.
Right.
I'm working harder. I'm making less money, and I'm to the point. I don't mind saying it. I'm in tears at night when I go to bed. I just like I come home, my hands are raw, and I'm tired, and I'm sore, I'm hurting, and I'm making less money, and I've just lost my family, my home, working my rear end off. And so for this to be presented here, for guys, I tell you, it really for the investment, the tiny little bit of money it takes to get in, and you can build an organization with two people. I mean, literally, you can
You
do it with
could.
two people
You
and have income.
can.
I mean, two people, that's it.
Yep.
It isn't like you got to have 100 people. It just takes two. And
That's
so
exactly
I
right.
just hope that yeah. So I hope if you're watching this, I know how it's going to be set up on your. I think I'll have the link here below where they can
I
go or
do.
contact me. And I ask you, please contact me
Hmm.
and let's get you in and get you going. And if you do nothing more than just buy your own gold and silver, buy it and protect your families, and get some assets that grow. Even if you don't go out and do the business end of it,
Right.
get some gold and silver in your hand. Yeah. So we got to get it, guys. We got to get it out of the hands of the institutions and back into our hands. Because only people who buy gold and silver right now are your institutions and your rich, savvy investors. So get it out of their hands and let's take our real
Yes.
wealth back. I mean,
Yes.
that's the big picture of all this. If we don't put it back in our hands, you can't sit home and cry and piss and moan about the way things are if you don't take and put it in your own hands. So that's all I got to say.
Amen. How preach.
Uh,
you, but everything you say
uh,
is exactly right. Everything you say. I have your link.
it's hard to be broke. Ugh, you know?
Right. Well, and again, residual income is just that. Is you do the work in the beginning and then it works for you. And so that's
Right.
why you're going to do it the way you're going to do it. I have your link pinned at the top of the chat, but
Okay.
it's also in the description
Okay.
box that nobody reads. So if anyone recalls, there's a description box and it's got your YouTube and it's got your website. But what I didn't do is ask for your email. So tell me your email real quick and I'll put that in the chat.
It's my name is Todd Morgan. My first initial is P. My first name is spelled so just P Todd Morgan at Gmail.
Oops. Let me spell it right. P Todd Morgan at Gmail.
Gmail. Yep.
So yeah, by the way, this is what I always say, and I bet you'll agree. I always invite people to email me because I will always answer your questions about gold and silver, even if you never buy from our company. Even if you never join, I think that
That's cool.
everybody deserves to get an understanding about gold and silver. Because if somebody had told me, well, the only way I'm going to teach you about gold and silver is if you join my company, I'd have been so stubborn. I'd been like, well, screw you then. I don't want to know. And I'd have never learned. So I think it's the right thing to do that if anyone wants to email with just questions and you never ever buy from our
Cool.
company, please email those questions. Do not be afraid to ask. We will still answer them.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, and I'll do the same thing too. And contact me via email. I'll give you my cell phone. Just yep, hit me up. So when I made my little list, I said, okay, I know some family that I want to share this with because I have some family that buys gold, silver, and some neighbors and stuff. But the first thing, Aaron, I thought of was we have our little, and I told my wife this before she left. And I think it made her upset. I said, honey, you got your family here on earth, but we also have like a heavenly family,
Yes.
and God has brought us together. We're like a
Amen.
lost tribe, and we need to really stick with each other, and we need to help each other. And
Yes.
when I went through my crisis this past month, I just got an outpouring of prayer from everyone that I didn't get. I haven't had when my wife left. I haven't had one person in my family besides my mom contact me. Not one friend. Nobody say, "Hey Todd, how you doing? I know you just lost everything in your life. You doing okay?" Not one person, but my internet little family just
Yeah.
poured out on me. So that
Isn't
just
that
really tells you
nice?
something. So I want us to take care of each other, and let's help each other through this. So if you get in, you've got my support, and we can knock this thing out of the ballpark, guys. Just hopefully you'll jump in because I couldn't do it fast enough, and I'm very cautious, Aaron, about a lot of stuff because I've been taken before, but I just knew it when it was presented what it really was. So yeah.
Well, I am going to bug everybody about one
And,
more thing
oh,
before we go.
oh, okay.
If you have time. If you don't, I
Yeah,
can just
I do.
rush.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I did want to mention that, just like in the Fuller brush guy, like I said, he'd come around and he'd go, okay, here's what I've got, and I can refill this every month. That's kind of where the monthly auto ships and auto stuff comes from. But the reason that we don't call it auto ship, we call it auto saver, is because these
Okay.
are collectible coins. This is interesting.
Oh,
What if I told you, Todd, that we all made a $1.2 million mistake?
I'm sure I have.
So
I made more mistakes than it.
if we had started in 1986 with just the MS-70 Silver Eagle, which is when they started grading them, and I'll tell you guys what that means in a second, MS-70. If we had
Okay.
gotten one every month since then, and this is even probably higher now, it would be valued over $1.2 million, and you would have spent about $40,000 to $50,000. That's way above and
Well,
beyond what bullion will get you. Because we talked about that. We talked about what gold and silver
yep.
bullion is worth. There was a man named Raymond Lombra. Check me out if you think I'm wrong. Raymond Lombra did a 30-year study, and it turns out graded coins had the best return over anything, over bullion, over stocks, over bonds, and
Wow.
over real estate. 30-year
Wow.
study. The 1999 MS-70 Silver Eagle I've seen sell for 24,000. You might say, why is that? Well, it was the year before Y2K and everybody's freaking out and we had a silver shortage. Very similar to this year. so so
Right.
you're not there was only 78 MS-70 Silver Eagles that year. Only 78. So what makes this collectible? Well, imagine a comic book or a baseball card. What makes it collectible is who's on it. So this is the most collectible coin in the world, this walking Lady Liberty Silver Eagle. And so that's who's on it. The year, so 1999 was a shortage, and we know that. So the population, very rare in 1999, and the condition that it's in. So these are in the most perfect condition at MS-70. So apparently, when Dr. Sheldon made his scale of MS-70, there was from 0 to 70 ways to destroy your coin. So 70 being perfect, not destroyed, all the way down to 0, you don't recognize it. It's probably been run over by the car in the parking lot multiple times. So because we have this autosaver program, you have the option of getting a Silver Eagle every month for $105. And these actually have the state labels on them that NGC is doing for us. And they've got 10 states out so far, and these have been highly, highly collectible amongst
That's cool.
especially members. So I think we're up to state 10, can't remember which one it is. And then we've got a variety, which is going to be $135, but they're much less population. So for instance, I just got the
Right.
year of the ox. Let me find it. Because it's so clean around here. What did I do with my year of the ox? Oh, forgive me. Okay, forget the year of the ox. Let's look at this one. Year of the ox is missing. Okay, so let me get rid of this for a second. So this is the Appaloosa, Idaho. It's a painted coin, and it's called
Oh,
the Variety
cool.
Coin. It's really, really neat. And apparently there's a 7K in here somewhere, and I have to find it. I don't have my bifocals yet. I qualified for bifocals last week, but they're not ready yet. So until I get them, I'm like this. I can't find it. So they send you a card that will tell you exactly like the population of something like this. There's only 2,000 of these. So if
Oh, okay.
there's 10,000 plus members, only 2,000 of us got this coin.
Wow.
And I got
Wow.
it. So that is
Oh,
the um, hold on, that's the variety coin. And then if you want, there's more. They've done other ones. They've done this guy, Darth Vader, the koala, the painted Year of the Dog. And then if you want, at I think it's 349, you can get gold or really, 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 really rare silver. And this is how you make positive monthly habits is you put this, just set it up, you get it once a month, but it's also, if you're not signing people up, what keeps you actively collecting points to earn a paycheck. If you're just going to buy stuff and you're not going to buy stuff that's valued at points, you're not going to sign people up, you're never going to get a paycheck. But if you sign two people up and you purchase one of these a month, you're going to get a
okay.
paycheck. If you don't want to get a
Wow.
monthly coin but you still want a paycheck, all you got to do is sign people up every month. That's it. Sign somebody up every
Yeah.
32 days, one person. You can do that.
Yeah. And I was looking at some of the income levels there. I mean, there are people in this company that are making $3,500 a week, and more than that. I mean, wow. And I mean, they did it really quick too. Some of them did. I
Some.
mean, and you've got an 18-year-old girl that's making some ridiculous amount of money. She's very savvy. Um, that's not so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I want everybody to know that while some people do it fast, some of us do it slow, but we're still making money. I've made $23,000 in 3.5 years. They've paid for a lot of
Awesome.
my gold and silver. in,
Well,
in fact, they've
right,
probably
right.
paid for all of it, right? If you think about it.
Let me. I'll share something. This is a little, maybe a little inside story, and I want to thank my buddy Casey over at Enter the Stars. If you guys, I know a lot of you follow Casey over at Enter the
Yes,
Stars, so
we
you know
do.
this. So we know what's going on with this coin shortage. Oh, the mints are closed and so forth and so forth. Well, Casey discovered something. I'm holding up a quarter, just a regular quarter, dime, or a nickel. I didn't know this, but even though they're nickel plated, they're copper.
Mm.
And we have an enormous copper shortage in the US right now because 5G is requiring tons of copper.
Mm.
So not just copper, it's silver and gold for all the electronic stuff that's going on. So when they pull all the coinage out, which I think they're going to do, they've got all their copper they've been hiding. We've been carrying it on us the whole time.
Mhm.
Not silver and gold. There's silver and gold is something different. They may have tons of copper, not silver and gold. So it's going to go out of the roof, and everybody knows it. And they've been purposely holding it down. But like the
Right.
analogy, when you take a ball and you push it underwater, the harder you push it down, the harder it's going to come up. And
Yes.
they've held it down
Or
for
the
so
coil.
long. It's
Think of the coil
yeah,
tightening.
and it's going to
Bing.
and it's getting ready to exactly. Yeah. So I won't be able to get, I won't be able to purchase it fast enough because I want a home again. Guys, I want a home really bad. I miss my home. And I just said to God today, I don't see any way in my life that I'll ever be able to own a home again. I mean, the cost of down payment money and all that stuff. And I'm done. Here I am, 56 years old, and I'll never own a home again. And when I
I
found
beg
out
to
about this
differ.
company, yeah,
You
you
could
do?
build your own tiny
Yes,
home.
yes, I can build, yeah, tiny home. Wow,
So
yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
that's exciting. Yeah, I had a 4,000 square foot home right off the beach, and
Oh
now I have
man.
nothing. So I just said, there's no, yeah, that's really hurts. Let me tell you, beautiful home, 2-story, view of the
Oh
ocean.
geez, Louise.
I just said, there's no way I'll own another home again. And if I ever wanted in my personal life, my family back, if I can't offer my spouse a home, I have nothing to offer her. I mean, that's part of being a man. And I said, there's no way I'm going to accomplish that. And I really, really broke down hard, Aaron. And I don't know. This is the opportunity. If I can't do it here, I
This
have
is
hope now. Let me just put it that way. I have hope.
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't
And you
2 days
prayed
ago.
about it and the Lord answered your
I did
prayers. And I pray
instantly.
about and I've been praying about this and all of a sudden here you are. So he's answering my prayers. So hallelujah.
Yeah, it's
We're
pretty
doing
funny.
it.
I'm very, I get very emotional about it, but so I'm excited about it. So I just hope that I want to share with my internet family first, and I hope everybody gets in and we start making some money and protect ourselves. And you know, I'm just, Aaron. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting the mask on, and I will not take that vaccine. It is not happening. You're not going to be able to tie me
Same
down.
here.
I'm not doing it. So here's your
Same
guy.
here.
Here's a way. Oh, one more quick thing here. You won't be able to go into a grocery store, but you will be able to get your groceries delivered. So at least you'll still be able to get groceries. But income, you're just not going to be able to have income without it unless you do a company like this. And I don't know any other items out there that have what this group's offering. So that's my thing.
And
So
like and
that's what
like
I'm sharing.
like Todd said earlier, he did his research and he even looked at the negative stuff and none of it was real
Oh yeah, I
tangible.
did.
And he said, I can't find one thing wrong with it. And I said, well, I can easily say that because I've been a part of the company, but it's great to have somebody else do the research and say the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. What can I say? And also when I talk about the downfalls of the company that I've had, they're so minimal. They're so
Right.
nothing. They're usually like, oh, corporate didn't email me back on time or blah blah blah. But there's such little things that I would
Yeah,
never
and
leave
I,
the
and I said
company over it ever. Such a
website's not. Yeah, the website's not great. I'm like, gosh, I really need to upgrade your websites and stuff. I'm
It
like,
used to be worse.
this is pretty awesome. I mean, we can get in here and get this website looking spiffy and stuff, and
Yeah.
we can really. So we
Maybe
got it's all upside.
maybe we'll be on the corporate team. Who knows? We've got lots of ideas, but anyway, we've been
Look,
on.
you know what? When you bring the truther community in, these
Mhm.
people, these are people that sit like some of my channels and some of the people I follow. These are some really talented people. They sit home and they build and make their presentations. I mean, some people really, I mean, they knock it out. They know what they're doing. I mean, we're not dummies. We're smart people. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, by the way, I wanted to mention Doc Michael says, "How long has Todd been in 7K metals?" And I said, 2 days, and he's on fire, which is great.
Yeah,
Like
I've
that's
already got some people. Yeah, I just gotta go. They're gonna join, I guess, tomorrow. I got cut short with a rainstorm out there, but they're gold and silver buyers. So I've been in for, I don't know, I don't know how many days. It's hours, I guess. Was it last night? Night before last?
I
I
think it was
jumped in
Friday
Friday.
night, but these days are
Yeah,
kind of melding in because it's been a busy couple of days. But for someone to
yeah,
be in for 2 days and to have as much knowledge already about the company and be this excited is a dream come true for me. Because even if you only ever signed up 2 people, it's just I enjoy talking to you. I get excited. I get fired up. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And I know you'll sign up more than 2 people. That's not the point, but it's not about me. What's cool is you're excited. I'm excited, and we both prayed about these things, and we've had answered prayers,
yeah,
and we just want to do this for other people. We just want to help
yeah.
people
And
do
if
the
you
same
ask me,
thing.
yeah, if you ask me how many people, I just wanted two. That's all I want to do. I'm going to get two people, and I want to spend time with them and
Yep,
help them get themselves set up, and then just
exactly.
go from there. I don't want 200 people. I just want two,
Right?
and those two, give me two people, and let me
200 at
work with
once.
you, and then what's that?
200
200
at
at once?
once.
Yeah, no,
Woo!
thank you.
That'd
Yeah,
be rough.
no.
Which is why I say we want to do it the way we're doing it, not these. I'm not saying anyone like again. Let me remind people: you can work the business however you want. If you're really tech savvy and you want to get a funnel and funnel people in by the dozens, that's cool. It can
Right.
work, but I want to know the people that are signing up, and I've always tried to reach out. I've had a few people sign up and never contact me, and it's really weird. It feels wrong to me, and I'll try to contact them and I'll email them and I'll get nothing, but I'm just hoping that they're getting something out of the company. So if you sign up, I will, and you don't contact me, I'll be working hard to try to get a hold of you and see what you need.
Yeah. And here's another cool thing too. I can do this and still talk about flat Earth and chemtrails and serpent seeds
Totally. Yes.
All the fun stuff and Tartaria and mud floods and all
Yep.
the mountains of giants and no trees on Earth, and then we go down the list of
All of
our
it.
911 and our false flags. We can get it.
Yes.
We can still do all the things that we do and make money at the same time. So yeah,
That's exactly what my channel turned into. And I think you said you went back and watched my very first video. And I
I
said that. I was
did.
like, I don't know what this is going to turn into, but I'm just going to leave it up to the Lord. And it turned into this
Yeah,
amazing research, rabbit hole, fun thing where I actually made productions and learned how to do editing. And now God said, no, now we're going to bring it back. And we're going to do things like this, talk about Jesus and
right.
gold and silver. And that's it.
Yeah, and just real quickly here too, like we talk about other topics, Tartaria, star forts. I'm with a lot of builders. My family are builders, building big buildings, and we've now figured out how they built the star forts. Not only do we know how they built it, we know who built them, and we're getting ready to put that
The
video
Star
out
Fort.
soon, which is
That's cool.
really
I haven't heard about
we
Star
know
Forts
how
in a
they were
while.
built.
Okay.
Yep, and we
By
tell you how
giants?
they were built. No, they were
Sorry.
built with massive 3D printers.
Of
Yeah,
course, there's nothing new under the sun. You know,
no, what we're doing now is old technology. We found the proof they were built with massive single arm 3D printers that print these things out. They come in, they make their own blocks right on site as it comes out this big thing, and they can lay out geometric patterns. They're doing it right now. Yeah, they're doing it. So we
that
know how they
doesn't.
built it. So
I've
we're
said
not in
that.
some new age.
Right. I've said I think that there have been times that the tech, and I'm sure you agree, that the technology already surpassed where we are now. We're not. Everybody says this is it. This is the end, and I'm like, well, I don't think we're there in the days of Noah
No,
yet. I just don't think we're there
no.
yet.
And I'm glad you said that because I think the days of Noah, I think they were more advanced than we are right now.
I know.
I think we
That's how
make
I
them out
feel.
some fake history. They rode around on donkeys and didn't hadn't barely invented the wheel. No, I think they were probably more advanced than we are today. Days of Noah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've been gunning
And I
at.
bet a lot of gold and silver.
Uh huh. Well, gold and silver is mentioned in the
That's it.
Bible 365 times, at least
That's right.
in the regular text of as far as extra biblical. Who knows? But we've been gunning at
Wow.
this
I
for
didn't
an
know that. Huh.
hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
So I figure this
Okay.
would be a good time to any last thoughts you want to share, any final word, not final words like you're on your deathbed, but like any final thoughts you want to share overall, and then we'll we'll say goodnight.
End with a prayer. Yeah, we'll
Yes.
end with a prayer though, right? Okay.
I'd be
Yeah, just
happy.
anybody's on
Everybody's
the
different, so I always throw that out there. If you want to pray, you can. I can pray. So whatever you think.
Oh, I'll let you go since you hosted tonight. It would be great. But I just want to say that if you're on my channel and you're watching, if you're on Aaron's channel, don't just consider, just do it. I mean, I wouldn't say that if I didn't tell you from my
Hmm.
heart that you won't be making a mistake here. Just do it. Don't waste time. By the time you try to figure things out, you'll be weeks down the road, and you've been making money during the whole time, and we don't have time to waste. Just jump in and do it. Just a few $100, you're in, and you're making money, and you're buying gold and silver, and just sometimes just do it. That's what I got to say. So there you go. That's it.
And I'll tell you what I hear the most from people who finally sign up that said, "Well, so and so told me about this 6 months ago, 4 months ago, or even 4 weeks ago." The thing I've heard the most is, "I wish I wouldn't have waited." So
Well,
don't wait. All
there you
right.
go.
So with
Okay.
that, we will bow our heads and we'll say a quick prayer. Father in
Okay. Go
heaven,
ahead.
Father in heaven, Lord Jesus, we love you. What a blessing you have brought to this community. We're so grateful, but really we just want to know you first. And when we know you first, we know that you're doing your will, Lord Jesus. And we pray for everybody in the chat, everybody that's going to be listening to this. We pray the Holy Spirit over them. And whatever they're going through, we pray for peace and joy for everyone to know the kingdom of heaven on earth now and not wait for until after we die, but to know that we can have that right now. So I'm grateful, Lord, for my friends. I'm grateful for the remnant. Let us continue to check each other. Please forgive us if we said anything faulty. If we said anything that struck somebody the wrong way, we pray just as they just forget about it and move on without offense. But Lord, we pray that we're speaking for you and we're conduits for you and we're prayerful people and we will continue to be. And all the glory goes to you, Lord Jesus, not us, to you. And let us help others earn that income. They're losing jobs. Let us continue to be a maskless, vaccineless remnant. We love you, Lord Jesus, and we pray in your holy, mighty name, the name of Yeshua HaMashiach of Nazareth. Amen.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Dad. Yes. Awesome.
Amen. Amen. Well, thanks for being here. As I titled this episode 1, I don't know if you know this, but I've put an expectation on you, no pressure, that there might be more episodes in the future where we come together and talk about stuff.
Might be. No, I think let's do some more. Yes.
I would love that. So since this is
Okay.
episode 1, look forward to more episodes in the future, everyone. So thanks very much, and his information is in the description box. It's also pinned at the top of the chat, and you can email him at ptoddmorgan@gmail.com, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Well, have a blessed night. Thanks for joining me. We'll do this again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
Here I am, you can see that I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but you remain so good, and you never change, you love me still in the perfect way, you stay always so good. You have pulled me out from the depths, you have saved me from certain death, you have shown yourself faithful to me over and over, Jesus. So let my life glorify you and teach me to walk beside you. And I want to be more like you, so let my life be one marked by you. Here I am on my knees, right here with you is where I want to be, 'cause you remain so good. Yes, you never change, you love me still in the perfect way, you stay always